welcome to another episode of Lolligaggers Legends. I'm Bill Griffith.
And I'm Jim Randison. Today looks like we have a very explosive matchup today. On the blue side, we have a Vi, Warwick, Rise, Jinx, and Thresh.
And on the red side, we have Garen, Lee Sin, Twisted Fate middle, Vayne, and Zyra bottom. How are these teams matching up today there, Jim?
Well, as I said, it looks like these two teams are incredibly explosive. Lee Sin, Twisted Fate, Vayne, and Zyra are incredibly burst-heavy champions. They're very good at dealing a lot of damage in a short amount of time, as are Vayne, Warwick, Rise, and Jinx.
Oh, I see.
That's right. It honestly depends on which person gets the edge quickest, personal gameplay and all.
Oh, I see. Well, it seems very interesting there, Jim.
Thanks, Bill.
So, individual matchups. Who do you think has the best matchup per lane?
Well, if we look at the ADC support, the bottom lane, it looks like Jinx and Thresh might have the advantage, because Jinx outranges Vayne. That's the simple answer there. But Zyra can outpoke Thresh, so we'll have to see. Warwick starts with his red. Lee Sin starts with his blue. They're both bottom side. Twisted Fate and Rise are starting middle, as are the Vi and Garen on the top lane. Now, the Vi-Garen matchup, I would say Vi has the advantage over Garen once she gets her W going. The stacks from that particular ability are very good at facing tank characters. Once she pops, I think she might. Let's see here. Let's select Vi real quick. Yes, looks like she went into. Oh, nope, she went for a dash. Once she hits level 3, we'll take a look at what her W actually does. But for right now, it looks like Garen uses Flash. He's really going in, and his Ignite on this Vi. She's going away. He's charging, but she used her Flash just in time, and Garen took a couple bolts from that turret, giving Vi the first blood. In middle, looks like Rise disconnected, unfortunately.
That's too bad. It's always a shame to see a team get hit by this disconnection. We'll have to see how they adapt to the situation.
Right you are there, Bill. Now bottom lane, we have this Jinx Thresh pushing in quite aggressively. And looks like they got the pickup on Zyra. Unfortunately, the kill went over to the Thresh, but Jinx got a little bit from the assist. Now Twisted Fate's coming down the jungle because his mid opponent is no longer in the game. So they might get this kill right here. Let's see here. Jinx just popped her flash. Thresh is doing his best to zone. And here comes Warwick to trade off. This Twisted Fate looks like he's going to get the kill, and another kill's going under the Thresh. But Twisted Fate got a kill, so that's too bad. Warwick looks like he's taking a chunk out of Jinx and getting hit by the tower himself.
So out of that trade, who do you think was favored?
Well, seeing as how Vi's pushing middle, I would say the blue side is favored slightly. Just because even though Thresh and Jinx got 2 kills, both of those kills went on to Thresh. They're not going to do a whole lot of good there. Whereas the kills onto the red side went on to the Twisted Fate, who's going to do a lot more damage later in the game. But luckily, once his roam, he overstayed his welcome on bottom, I think the Warwick got a decent amount of money, and the Vi got some money middle there. keeping her relevant. This Vi right now, you see those little circles around the Garen their build. That's right, Jim. That's her, I think it's called Vault Break. And it really just tears into the Garen. It does not matter if he builds a lot of health. She's doing percentage damage. She is a tank buster. Oh, seems quite dangerous for Garen. That's right. And even though Garen's dropping back, like, Vi did not kill Garen there, but she dropped him low enough that he's not going to get as much farm or anything like that. And basically, she can just wander away, do whatever she wants while he's under tower. Luckily, he seems to be quite intelligent enough to last hit those minions. So, luckily for him, he's not losing out on so much farm, but this Vi can just push that entire wave. Now let's look down at bottom again. It looks like the Zyra Vayne killed off this Thresh. Luckily, Jinx is full health, so we'll have to see how this works out. Now, good news for the blue side, we have this Ryze who came back into the game. Oh, looks like some action's going down top lane. Twisted Fate roamed to the top and took out the Warwick. And unfortunately, it looks like Lee Sin is going to get the pickup on that Vi. So, looks like there's two more over to the red side. That's right. Which puts the red in the lead by about 1,000. Luckily, for the blue side, this Ryze is being left alone in the middle to farm back up. He was at a deficit because of the disconnection. But because Twisted Fate's been spending all of his time roaming around and, you know, just picking up, he's not getting kills really, he's getting assists more than anything. It's letting this Ryze get back into the game. And it looks like Lee Sin's going to want to fight the Ryze, but he's got to be very careful as he's already low, and Ryze can duel with the best of them. That's his champion's moveset. Looks like we have a bit of a team fight going on in the bottom lane. We got a 4v5 hatching. Vayne has actually gone down. She was the first into the fight. She face checked that bush, and the team traded kills there. Warwick for Vayne. And while this is happening, Vi is pushing top lane. Looks like this red team better decide what they're going to do, and quickly. If they can't get a pick onto the blue side, this setup is useless. Right you are, Bill. And this Vi is holding this minion wave. If you're new to Legends and you want to play a pretty good top laner, this is a pretty good way to push down a tower fairly quickly and fairly safely, where you stop the opposing minion wave to let your minions group up around this tower here, and then once they're gone, you get all the farm from the minions and the experience, and the minions do a lot of damage to the tower. She last hits the tower to get the gold from taking the tower down, and she basically gets all she wants while this red team is being halted by the blue. They don't know what to do, this red side. It looks like the Ryze is getting caught out a little bit by himself, and the trade's going over to the red. That's right, but there are still no turrets going down from the blue side. So even though the red side has 2 more kills than the blue, the gold is not that much different. It's essentially even. Oh, good commentary there, Jim. Thanks, Bill. Now let's take a look at this middle. This Twisted Fate's getting pretty low on these minions. Gotta be careful. If he doesn't see this, but if there were a Vi, or say a Jinx rocket, he would be a free kill, or even Warwick. So it looks like Warwick is staying bottom. Oh, he's headed towards the middle. Looks like Lee Sin is next on the agenda. Oh! Warwick sniped out that little, that scuttler there. Ha! Nice little playful sniped by the Warwick. It looks like something's going down middle. This Garen looks like he's going to face check the bush, and oh, he ran straight into a big old fistful of Vi. I did that once last week. Didn't feel too great. And as we said before, Vi being a tank buster, not going to go well for Garen. That led to Lee Sin being on his own in between 3 pretty good champions, and he went down very easily. Meanwhile, bottom lane, it looks like the Thresh went down to, let's see here, let's back that up real quick. Yes, it looks like the Thresh went down to the Vayne, but luckily Jinx had her ultimate, so she could pick up the trade from Vayne. And, I mean, out of that trade, it's about even, much as you can be. And right now, speaking of fair trade and even, the teams are basically even in gold. Blue has a slight advantage, but not by a whole lot. Now it looks like there's going to be a trade-off. This Warwick is trying to get a kill off of Garen. Ryze is taking out Twisted Fate's trying to run away. Now it looks like a TP's coming in from Vi, who's going to dash in here, pick out her ultimate, and Ryze is just going to pick up that kill easy as you please. That's right. This Vi, while we're at it, is going straight up to the top lane. She's been pretty proactive. Like this whole blue team has been pretty proactive this whole game. If there's a fight going on bottom, the top does something. If there's a fight going on top, the bottom does something. If something happens middle, there's somebody else on the team who's looking for an opening. Huh. Sounds like a pretty good way to go. Yeah, that's right. Especially on with teams like this, is very volatile, offensively based teams. It's a wonderful idea. Oh, there's a dodge by Vayne, but it looks like Jinx is going to get the pickup. Activates her passive. She's going to get this pickup very quickly. But with these high offense teams, it's really important to always be moving and thinking about a new opening, thus keeping you in the running for, the offensive plays that makes you a credible threat in the games. Unfortunately, Jinx, or fortunately enough for the red team, Jinx just went down, and so did Zyra. Oh, I'm sorry, Zyra got the kill onto Jinx, and Lee got the kill onto Thresh. Now, Zyra's not the best person to pick up the kill, but a kill's a kill. That's right, looks like Twisted Fate's going to teleport to middle to fight this Ryze, who's low on health. But, while everybody was sleeping, Vi took out that turret. And, without mana, looks like she's going to try to fight this Vayne. Not too great of an idea. That's right, but Vayne's got to be very careful, because Vi is always full of surprises. Now, this is very, very dangerous for Vi. I mean, she's basically going to die. But, nope, she's going to dash away. Nope, she's dashing in. She's dashing in. That was a very wonderful play by the Vi. I mean, it was basically all or nothing. But what she did, let's back up real quick to the fight. Vi's running away, but she's not going to fight she's not going to fight Vayne outside of, she's going to wait till she's in this minion wave to fight her. Why is that, Jim? Well, the minions actually do a fair amount of damage, especially to an ADC, which essentially levels the damage. So, even if Vayne had killed Vi, there was a higher likelihood of a trade. Luckily, the damage was good enough that Vi could get out without dying. Huh! Lucky her. Meanwhile, we got a fight going on middle, and Warwick is getting his butt kicked under tower, but he got the pickup onto Thresh, who took Lee Sin under tower. Lee Sin is suffering from the good old case of Lee syndrome. Here comes Vi to pick up these very low red team players. Use her ultimate on the Twisted Fate, locked him down. Warwick is doing his darndest to do damage against the Garen, but this Vi is just picking everyone up. That's right, she is incredibly powerful right now. Looks like, take a look. It looks like she's building a lot of lethality, meaning she has a ton of burst. And against a Garen, whose armor is essentially meaningless to a Vi, he's wide open. Now this Lee Sin jumped in with that good old Lee syndrome we love to see. Vi's character is a very similar type champion. Oh, let's see here. Looks like there's a it looks like there's a cascading effect of this red team running in one by one. This tower should just be left alone to die. It's okay to let it die. It's not gonna be that big of a deal if it goes down. What's worse is if you trade a bunch of kills over to the blue side, because just from that last series of events is about 3,000 gold into the blue's favor. And of course the red got the bottom turret there, but I mean, looks like blue side's gonna pick up this Rift Herald. Garen's gonna come down to look. Oh, looks like he's thinking better of it. These folks are all just gonna get out with that Rift Herald. I mean, yes, the red tower went down, or I'm sorry, the blue tower went down, which is a good idea from the Vayne to at least trade that global gold and get a little bit more money onto her. If she is a good amount of damage, like she's a tank buster like Vi is, so if she can get nice and fed up, or fed, that is, she can be a very good offensive tool to turn some team fights around. With this Twisted Fate CC, it's a pretty good game, a pretty good strategy. Oh, looks like the Rift Herald is being popped. Now, do you suppose that this is a little bit premature? Well, I don't know if that's the case. Maybe Thresh is popping that Rift Herald, because you see, Zyra's trying to take out the Rift Herald, while the Jinx Thresh just took out Vayne and now took out Twisted Fate. Here comes the Warwick, and Ryze is there just for good measure. So it looks like the Rift Herald was a very good, I guess, bait, if you will. Because everybody's trying to come out to attack him. Meanwhile, they could, return the favor. And they're going to get the trade on this bottom tower. Oh, look at the top lane here. This Vi is just going to town on that tower. That's right. This is going back to what you were talking about earlier about the opportunistic team. That's right. Whenever there's something happening on bottom, top does something also. So the red side has to decide to do something. And more often than not, teams get caught up in the decision long enough that if you're lucky enough team doing this, you might get away with both objectives. Now it looks like the Twisted Fate just picked up a Ryze kill. Might be going for a Thresh also. So it's gonna make him quite the offensive tool. That's right. But looks like there's going to be a double team onto this Garen. Trying to fight this Warwick on the blue buff, but unfortunately Vi was there to pick him off. Let's see, Warwick and Vi might get at it. Oh, looks like Zyra. We have a Zyra in that bush. Oh, we have a big red team. Oh boy! That is 4 red team collapsing on the Vi Warwick. And this Thresh has got to get his shoes on and run the way. Run the way? Oh, run away. Looks like a slip of the tongue. You were saying, Bill? Slip of the tongue there, Jim. Right back at you, Bill. You know, this feels like a bit of a teapot calling the kettle black situation. But I'm just gonna let bygones be bygones with this one. I think that's best. Now, the red side is actually getting quite a few picks onto the blue, as the blue are getting a little bit, seeming to get a little bit full of themselves, wandering into the red side jungle 2 by 2. And it looks like there's going to be Drake going over to the red side. This will be the second Ocean Drake for the blue team. Now, luckily for the blue side, the Water Drake, or the Ocean Drake, is not the greatest for the red team's composition. But, you know, a Drake's a Drake. Now, you're saying it's not that great. Oh, Vi just took out that turret after all. Anyway, you said that the Ocean isn't the greatest for this red team. Why do you say so? Well, the Ocean Drake is good for, I think, mana and health regen outside of combat. But this red team just keeps going all in on every fight, meaning there's no time to regenerate. Now, if they were to pick a fight, run away, pick a fight, and run away, then the blue for the Ocean Drake would be perfect. But that's just not the way they're playing. So it doesn't lend itself so well to this strategy. I see. Good insight. Thanks. Now, Jinx just picked up the bottom side red turret, evening out those lanes. In middle, we have, looks like Lee Sin and Zyra trying to collapse on this Thresh. Oh, we have Jinx from the bush and Twisted Fate right behind. They got the Thresh. Looks like let's see if they can get something else. Let's see here. And Vi's coming from the middle, from the blue side. So it looks like they might be looking for a bit of a team fight. While they're doing this, Vayne is top lane. She's going to try to take out this top turret, which is a good enough strategy if they can pick a team fight. But it looks like Garen's going to get chewed up. And there goes Vi to pick up this Zyra. Don't know if she didn't get the kill. Oh, there's Jinx with the ultimate to ensure the kill there. Now this blue side's got to be careful not to chase that Twisted Fate into the red side. That's right. Luckily, they're keeping their heads on a swivel. Vayne actually did end up picking up this Tier 1 top lane, but that's a fair enough trade for the Tier 2 middle. Let's see here. Vi decided to take the sacrifice to trade for the Twisted Fate, and ultimately for the Tier 2 turret. That's right, but they have to be careful. This Vayne is doing some work on the top side, Tier 2, on the blue team. That's right. But if it's a base race between 4 people on blue side and 1 on red, I think the blue side might have the advantage. But it looks like she might actually... Oh, not quite. She just needs a little bit more there, and she'll have this turret no problem. That's right. But, as I've said before, a life, especially this late in the game with death timers being up to 30 to 40 seconds, Vayne's life is worth more than the turret itself. I see. Looks like Vayne's flashing over the wall to get away. Oh, but here comes the entire blue side team to try to chase her down. And Lee Sin's coming in to save the day. Let's see if they can get out of this alive. That mid-blue turret, oh, they're just getting shots from those turrets. Rise with his ultimate. They just took, Jinx just took out the Vayne with hers. And Vi's going in back here. Oh boy. It looks like there was an attempted pincer maneuver from the red side that did not work out so well. Let's go back a little bit and check this out. So here they come down this way. Now it looks like these two are going to try to go around this side here. Let's see what happens while that's going on. So it looks like Vi is going down. Now Vi is doing her ultimate to try to take somebody down. Now she ends up dying, but in doing so she locks down, it looks like she locked down the Twisted Fate. So his damage was negated by Vi's sacrifice, allowing the entire rest of the blue side's damage to stay alive and continue doing damage, while the red side damage was dead, so they couldn't do anything, even against the Garen. Like, Garen is pretty powerful as a champion, but if it's one Garen versus an entire team on the blue side, it looks like Garen's going to go down, doesn't it?
That's right there, Jim. Now it looks like this blue team is getting a little bit big for their britches. Now they're going to take out this Vayne, but the Thresh is going to die to this Lee Sin, giving him a little bit more money. Warwick is sticking around to take out those Canaries. So let's see if that's a worthwhile trade, because he's going to die. And Lee Sin's got another kill. Jinx is trying to run away. Boy, it looks like this blue team is getting kind of full of themselves, doesn't it?
That's right. Unfortunately, this happens when the team gets ahead. Even if, like, they're 4,000 ahead, but it's not an open and shut case. Like, these are not professional teams, and looks like Jinx is gonna get taken down. Luckily, like, this looks like Jinx knew she was going to die, so she's buying time for the Vi to push top. We said earlier, this opportunistic team, they're always being proactive, always pushing a lane. Even if someone's going to die, they're trying to buy time for somebody else to push a lane. But while that's happening, the red team is pushing down the blue at the bottom lane in tier 2 blue turret. Thresh is going to get picked off, maybe. Oh, Thresh is staying alive. He's pulling the Garen underneath the turret. Like an interesting little fight. Twisted Fate's getting chased off by Rise. Lee Sin's jumping in, maybe bursting him down real quick. Looks like, yep, Rise took a hit, but Warwick is just on the chase. There's a stun by Twisted Fate, but there's a pick off by the Warwick, definitely going to happen. So it's essentially trade 2 for 2, because the Thresh, oh, the Thresh lived! He ended up killing the Garen under the turret, so it's a 2 for 1 trade.
Quite an interesting little fight we have here.
That's right. So, looks like there's a bit of a reset. The blue team is going for this Cloud Drake. Doesn't seem like that advantageous of a Drake. They're very low, too.
That's right, they're putting a lot of eggs in this basket. He is so low, luckily they got the Drake. And good for them that there's the Jinx and Vi coming in. There we go. Now, those two did end up dying to the Zyra, but there was a trade-off of kills onto the Jinx and Vi. So the Zyra's support, I guess that's an okay kill for her, but she is not the most effective disbursement of the gold, where Vi and Jinx are incredibly damage heavy. I mean, look at this Vi's build. She's going Dagger, Ghost Blade, she's going so much lethality. She is essentially an assassin. So, if she can get a little bit more assassin-y, she can blow up Jinx or Twisted Fate, oh sorry, Vayne or Twisted Fate, before they're even a thing. Like, look at that damage onto that Twisted Fate. Now, you have the Jinx there also, but, I mean, come on, that burst was insane.
That's right there, Jim. Now we got Vayne trying to push in bottom lane, and she did quite a bit of damage on this turret before being taken down, but Warwick and Thresh together were easily enough to take her down with their CC and damage. Now what's going on here? We got Vayne in this bush. It looks like there's a bit of a double trap going on, but whose trap is going to be best?
Looks like blue team had enough burst to take Zyra down before she was even relevant. And there went Lee Sin also. It's quite unfortunate for the red side. It looks like their trap was being set, but the blue side's trap was a little burstier, if you ask me.
Quite the insight there.
And we got a pickup onto Garen.
Unfortunately, by this point, Garen is, like, he's okay in a team fight. He can be a tank. He is building relatively tankily. But he's not that big of a deal. And now here's the Vayne, got picked off by Rise. Twisted Fate's going to try to stun. Oh, there's the miss and the pickup by Twisted Fate. He is just on fire today. these teams are not giving an inch. If there is any advantage to be pushed, they're going to take it.
That's what I like to see, Jim. Nobody being a pansy, no one giving up, no one running away, everybody stays to fight. No one is being dead weight in this entire game.
That's right. Everybody's giving tooth and nail to this. Now, you have this Thresh and Warwick pack here. Now, I wish they would just back away and heal. We have Vi in the river, but it looks like she's smart enough to back away, not take this 3v1. Warwick, oh, looks like he's using a little bit of his wisdom. So we have a 3v4. Warwick, Vi, and Thresh are going to burst down Lee Sin. But, oh, and looks like Vi's trying to burst the Twisted Fate. Oh, got Twisted Fate and Zyra. But here comes the Vayne. And they're not paying attention to Vayne, which is very unfortunate because Vayne just killed 3 people in a row.
Oh, that's quite unfortunate there, Jim. You gotta pay attention to Vayne. She's a lot like syphilis.
What do you mean, Bill?
Well, she seems, you know, she's hard to detect, and then before you know it, wham! It gets you. You always gotta be vigilant. Always on your guard when it comes to syphilis.
Vayne.
That's right. Same thing, whatever.
Alright. So, as the team fight kind of spills away, let's see here. Looks like Jinx is headed down towards bottom to clear away this wave. Thresh is guarding middle. There's a bit of a reset going on. Just people clearing waves top and bottom. So, we gotta be getting pretty close to the next Drake, I believe. Yes, about a minute or so. So that's probably where the next big objective is going to be.
I see. It looks like there's a trap going on. Zyra got caught out, but unfortunately Vi punched a ward. Let's see, Twisted Fate popped his Zonias, which distracted Vi enough to get bursted down by the rest of the team. And Thresh was just completely demolished by the red team.
Unfortunate for him. Now Ryze is running for his life, but he got tagged by Lee Sin, and Twisted Fate is chasing him also. Now this is a little bit of a mistake by the red side.
How so there, Jim?
Well, instead of chasing the Ryze, it would be a little bit more advantageous to just push a lane. That way they could get a turret, they could get gold, they could get an advantage on the map, as well as in kills.
Oh, there comes that Vayne with that burst attack. Almost got Jinx, but Jinx, oh, they almost traded each other. Here comes Vayne, back onto Warwick.
That's right. Warwick is kind of a tankier character, but unfortunately, Vayne is completely built to kill tanks. That's her moveset. That's what that silverish circle stacking is all about around a person. She's a lot like Vi. They're both tank busters. So Vi versus Warwick, Vayne versus Warwick, Vayne's going to win.
Oh boy, sounds like that syphilis analogy's paying off pretty well there, Jim.
I think you're right, Bill. Now, it looks like Vayne's trying to set up for a bit of an assassination. She's got to be careful too, because although she can do quite a bit of damage very quickly, if she's 2v1, people are actually focusing her, she's going to die. And Vi can burst Vayne very quickly. Meanwhile, top side, there was a trade. Zyra got a kill onto Jinx, and Jinx picked up a Garen kill. Now, let's take a look at the Zyra. It doesn't look like Zyra's building support items very much at all, which means she's basically another mid laner.
Oh boy, looks like there's quite a bit of damage coming from the red side.
Well, there's coming from the red side and the blue. But I think if we put supports against each other, I would say Thresh is a more effective support than Zyra is. Now, Zyra is a more devastating champion, but where Thresh can lay down, his shields, he can pop his stuff to stun, and he's got that sight stone, he can lay down wards, which gives all this vision over to the blue side. That Zyra is not giving any of the vision back. If you take a look at the red side of the jungle, there is no vision. It's completely dark, where the blue side at least has a little bit of vision set up here. So this Thresh is really setting his team up for more kills than the red side is. Oh, looks like the blue side's setting up for something, but the red team sees it. Jinx saw the ward now. Oh, there goes Twisted Fate. That was unfortunate. Now, I think he was trying to bait out an attack to pop his Zhonya's, but he was dead before his Zhonya's popped. Now, here comes Vayne getting her stacks up, and she basically killed 3 people in a row again. Luckily, she was the only one, so the team fight went over to the blue side. The ace came in for the Thresh, which is good for the blue side since they got the ace, they got the kills, and there's going to be a reset. Fortunately enough for the red side. If there was a champion to still be alive, the Thresh is the best option because he's a support. He can't do a whole lot by himself. He's going to push this lane up. He might push to the turret, but he'll probably try to back away. Someone's got to do something about this mini wave bottom. Looks like Ryze is going to take care of it. And we're headed towards a reset. Boy, this seems like it's an action-packed game here, there, Jim. Right you are, Bill. These teams, as we said a bit ago, are going the full 9 yards to win this game. No one's giving an inch, which is good. It's quite entertaining and quite fun. Oh, looks like we got a Baron play set up. This could backfire. Why so there, Jim? Well, I mean, of course they have a lot of damage. As you said, they have a ton of burst. But the whole blue side is still alive. So the likelihood that this is going to be stolen, well, it probably won't be stolen now. But the likelihood that this team fight's going to go down poorly is quite high. And this Vayne's going in by herself. She stays first in this. Warwick went down quite well, but Warwick's ultimate, coupled with Vi's, meant that Vayne died first. Garen went in on Warwick trying to pick up the pieces, but they bursted him down while the rest of the team was chasing Vi, leaving 2 people. It was Zyra and Lee Sin being chased into this pit, who were then just picked off. Oh! Looks like the red side left their Garen high and dry. That's right. Just like I did to that bitch Margaret a few weeks ago, right? Right there, Jim? Didn't Margaret leave you? That's not how I remember it. No, it was like a month ago. You told everybody. She left you. You were crying and all that. You basically told us that. Yeah, well, I guess I just remember it a little differently than you do. Anyway, that's it for us here at Lolligaggers Legends. I'm Bill Griffith. And I'm Jim Randison. Thanks for watching.